Moving in with Papaji. Once upon a time in a country called America, in the state of California, in the city of Fresno, there was a 20-acre farm. On that farm lived Darshan and Sarai with their Punjabi mother and Canadian father. On March 10, Mom tells the children she's going to India because her BBG is sick. The children are sad but understand. BBG dies the next day and Mom flies to India to be with Papaji. In California, the kids' world was chaos. The house was messy. No one had any idea how to cook. The kids were bored and upset because they loved playing outside and could not because of the rain. They missed Mom. Mom returned 3 really long weeks later. The family was happy to have someone cooking for them. Darshan's food was nothing like Mom's. Mom missed Papaji. In August, the family went to Canada for their annual visit. We went to visit Grandma and Grandpa in North Bay first. Dad asked Grandma and Grandpa if they wanted help at home and with their business. Dad said we would live with them if they wanted us to. We visit Papaji in Toronto for a week. Darshan and Sarai have a great time with their cousins. Papa asks Mom if we can stay for another month. Mom says she has to go back to work, but will spend a month with Papa in the winter. In October, Grandma and Grandpa told Dad they didn't need help. They liked living with Chachaji and Chachiji. BBG's one-year memorial vogue is on March 11. Mom and Dad booked our tickets to India. We fly on February 14 and return March 30. Darshan and Sarai are excited to visit India, the country they have heard so much about. Baji and Pabi live in Santa Barbara with their son Tirath, who is 5 years old. Baji has promised Tirath he would take him to India. Baji asks Tirath if he wants to go to India or stay with his mommy. Tirath says he wants to go. Tirath won't drink his mom's milk again because her body will stop making milk when he is gone for more than 3 days. Darshan and Sarai are nervous about the plane ride to India, but it is fun to watch movies. In Korea, the plane stops for 9 hours. They leave the airport and visit a palace and see the changing of the guard. They eat Korean food. The noodles are thick and slightly sweet. Papaji sends a taxi from the village to pick them up at the airport. Lucky Uncle puts their luggage in the trunk and lays blankets on top to make a cozy bed for Darshan and Sarai. They've never traveled in a car without a seatbelt. They are excited to see India. When they arrive at the village, they are greeted by their cousin Balraj, who came from Canada with Papaji. The village is small, and the streets are like a maze. The children give up on making a map and try to memorize the streets instead. The next day, Balraj and his family leave to go visit their Nana and Naniji. Darshan and Sarai are sad and frustrated. They don't know how to speak Punjabi, and Balraj would translate for them. Mom had taught them Punjabi when they were born, but they didn't want to learn because they said they were white, not Punjabi. They regretted that now and started to learn. Their cousin Navi spoke some English, and they were happy about that. Tirath is coming. He had talked to Papaji and BPG on the phone, but had never met them. He was so excited to meet his great-grandfather. He told Papaji about his little brother who had died at 3 months old. Papaji told him about BBG, his great-grandmother, who died last year. Tirath had never had his hair cut. He ties it in a top bun and wears a hat. Papaji tells Tirath he shouldn't do that. Tirath should wear a patka or a turban, not a hat. Mom does his hair in a gutta and ties a patka on him. Tirath likes to sit with Papaji and learn Punjabi. He likes to pound herbs for medicine with Papaji in the large mortar and pestle. He loves to wrestle with Papaji. If he wants to wrestle, he asks Papaji, "Kusti karni?" They wrestle on the manja. At night, he snuggles with Papaji, and Mom translates for him so he can talk to Papaji. In the afternoon, Navi tutored the village children in English. Darshan and Sarai would listen to the lesson, and then all the children played in a large courtyard together. Navi made French fries with fresh cut potatoes and made donuts too. There were a lot of hutties in the village that sold candy and soda. The kids would get money from mom and dad and go with their cousin Deep to shop for their favorite candies and chips at the various hutties. They enjoyed trying all the new candies and sodas that were different than the ones in America. There were so many puppies around the village and at the farm too. The children were allowed to run throughout the village and play all day until just before it was dark. India seemed like an alternate dream reality designed for playing. Everyone had such a good time. Papaji said they should come back every year if they loved it so much. Papaji said then he could come for 6 months in the winter like he used to with Bibiji. Mom and Dad decided they would do that. Mom would quit her job, and Dad would continue to work part-time over the internet. March flew by, and it was time to go back to California. They cried and waved to their cousins as they left the village with Lucky Uncle and his taxi. At the airport, they hugged Tirat and Baji, who were flying to Los Angeles, while they flew to San Francisco. Everyone was sad to leave Papaji and each other. The first thing Mom did in California was book their tickets to India. She wanted to see Hemkund Sahib, and Papaji told her to book her ticket for September so she could travel there before they closed on October 5th. They were going to leave on September 19th from San Francisco. In Fresno, the family seemed so small without Papaji, Tirat, Baji, and all their cousins. Mom called Papaji every day. On April 8th, Papaji asked them to come to Canada and stay with him, because they were going to India in September to stay with him. The farmer who leased the land for 25 years was supposed to pay his yearly payment on March 10th and still hadn't paid. The tenant for the farmhouse didn't pay her rent for March and moved out on April 2nd. Vaheguru was showing Mom and Dad there was nothing tying them to California. Mom told Darshan and Sarai about when her Nanaji came to live with them in Canada when her Mamaji died. Papaji cared for his father-in-law until he died. Now it was their turn to care for her father because her mother had died. Mom loved living with her Nanaji. They called him Payaji, like Bibiji did. On April 30th, they started to drive across America for Toronto to be reunited with Papaji. Darshan and Sarai were excited to be with their cousins. Mom was excited to be with Papaji, her sisters, and brothers. They drove to Calgary first to visit Navi's mom and dad, who were visiting Canada for the first time from India. The Gurbani encourages children to take care of their parents because that makes Vaheguru happy. Papaji spends more than 12 hours a day doing Path. The Gurbani says that it is an honor and a privilege to do seva for a servant of God. Everyone was very excited to live together as one big family.